welcome in to the Highland Ravens interview. I'm here with Haddix, Ven, and Screammmmm. I hesitate to call you guys like a newer team in the league, but this is really, it's like a crossover episode if you're a Season 9 fan of a lot of these teams. When we talk about the SPL, so often we say, you know, the Jade Dragons, that's the spirit of the Oni Warriors because they got that 3-man core. What do you think is the spirit of this team? Are you guys the 2.0 of like a previous season, or is this a whole new thing?
It's just a different version of like old Bolts when Haddix, me, and Barrow rolling.
I had forgotten you were on the Bolts, Haddix.
I was on the Bolts.
I totally forgot about
Crazy.
that. Oh, so yeah, this is Bolts 2.
I feel like,
But we wanted the fresh start on everything, so
yeah,
just
but
a new team for us.
I would say the team's identity is decided by the support in the jungle.
Really?
Right? Like the roamers.
Yeah.
Entirely.
Yeah, so I think losing Lass and Jake, the team's completely different. Besides, like, obviously laners are going to like contribute to their playstyle, right? If you have like a really aggressive player in a lane, you're going to play to that. But I think the roamers decide a lot on how they play.
Fair enough. Just the control over the map in the early game.
Yeah.
Well, Screammmmm, then what's the identity of the team? What are we going for?
I mean, honestly, usually most of the teams I'm on, they revolve around me.
Why is that?
Why is that?
I'm a dominating player. I mean, it's hard to stop me when I'm on a roll. Simple as that. But yeah, I mean, I think Hurry's kind of going to be the main deciding factor on how we're playing. I think, I don't know, I just think he's got a good, he's our shot caller mainly right now.
Primary shot caller, Hurry, really.
Given the state of the game, yeah, I think he's doing a great job. And I don't know, I just think me and Hurry, you know, the game's going to be decided by how well we can combine, how well I can get my lanes ahead, stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't think it's that different. We're just kind of playing the game.
Fair enough. You touch on the fact that the majority of your teams decide to play through you. Is that a decision that your teammates are making, or is that Sprack showing up and saying, "Hey guys, this is how we get wins.
Yeah,
let's play through that."
Carefully.
A little bit of both. I mean, it's not really the case on this team.
Okay.
Maybe that's because of the map. Honestly, you know, jungle's weak. So
You actually think so?
no, I think jungle's fine. I just think you don't have like the ability to like macro and shot call kind of like you did before, because the game's not really like super team based. I think right now.
A little bit more leaning into like individual play.
Yeah, it's kind of like the jungle's like you can actually gank people and kill people now, which has like not been a thing for like a lot of seasons, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think I'm kind of like a dominating player in comms and ideas and how we should be playing the game. So it just kind of like happens.
Fair enough.
This guy's saying some stuff.
He said, maybe not things you agree with, but he's certainly saying it right. As that Bolts core, is it a wild shift having to play around a guy like this?
Nah, I've played with Screammmmm before, so it's not really too much of a difference.
So Screammmmm hasn't changed.
That.
What was that, 4 years ago now?
Yeah.
So you're saying
5?
No growth from
Probably
Screammmmm.
longer.
He's the same guy.
Season 4?
Yeah, Season 4.
It's Season 10, bro.
Yeah.
It's been 6 years.
It's been 6 years.
I know what this guy's cooking. I always know.
He's got the same recipes for the last 6 years.
No, I've changed a lot, man.
Nah,
You don't
yeah,
wanna
it's
give me
changed
the
a lot.
credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been very enjoyable.
Has
Not
it?
that it was not enjoyable before.
Right. Saving face. For me, I think it's a wildly different team for me. Coming from like Lass and Jake, it's different. Without saying how like the team exactly works, like there's just a lot more communication on this team compared to that one. And I think it's way different to play around, because before I feel like I would have to like step up in comms, and now I feel like I need to step back and put more of like the role on other people, like say Tyler or Hurry. So it's interesting. It's definitely a big change.
Is that maybe something that you had some experience doing, though, stepping back a little bit in comms with your stint on the Leviathans?
Yeah.
Considering, you know, the Z-Men, I hear is essentially just a drill sergeant in shot calling.
So I think that it was also important for me to shot call on that team as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely less so right when you have like a commanding person like Steven. Yeah, for sure.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And now with this new Ravens roster with Hurry and Screammmmm, we had one match so far, one set played. It was up against the Oni Warriors. What did you learn from that matchup? Is that where maybe you got the idea that this is a meta that's dictated by individual play and scrapping on the map? Or was that something you'd kind of come to already in Season 10?
Sort of. We were getting there, honestly. I didn't really play much during the off-season. Kind of like my break time during the year.
Fair enough.
And I think a few other people, I think Ven didn't really play much leading up to the tournament. So it was kind of like, you know, we were fine like going in and like playing some games. You know, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. But But yeah, kind of. I mean, I think Hurry honestly took the most from that set. He came into the next week of scrims and he had a lot of great ideas that we've been trying to implement. But yeah, I don't know. The way they play the game is just very unique. Just kind of catches you off guard a lot of the time. So,
well, let's expand on unique, because when casters say unique, we don't know what's going on. Maybe we think it's bad. Like, what do you mean by that?
I don't really think there's like a ton of strategy behind what they do.
Okay.
I mean, obviously they're a good team, like, you know, but I just don't think they maybe think a ton. They just kind of get in there and try it out and see what happens. Which can be a good trade at the beginning of the year, right? That's when it's at its best, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We'll see how they develop, but I think they're kind of just doing their thing, and they were on a better page than most of the other teams. So
fair enough. Is that echoed by you guys?
Yeah, that was the biggest team that we were struggling against in scrims. Kind of the only team that I feel like we were really.
I think everyone was struggling against them.
Yeah, like
they lost one game the entire event. It was only one game dropped. That was against the Kings.
Versus them in scrims, like. It was pretty like heavy favored in them, and then versus everybody else, like we were fine against, like it was pretty good for us. And then we knew that we had to play a different style versus them going into the tournament, and I mean, we tried to like play a different style and stuff like that. But it's fine. It's like kind of whatever. I think their game plan, whether they plan for it or not, like going into a tournament that a meta isn't really found out or like a really scrappy time for them. I think it's like a really good way to play for them, and they end up winning the tournament. So yeah, I think it was a smart play by them.
I think they just have good synergy between, like, they have 3 players that have been friends forever: Aegon, Jake, and Sot. And then they have the Royd Netroid combo, or Royd Penny. So. Yeah. Yeah, I think that they just have good synergy, and they're all good players individually, right? They all have their quirks, but they're all really good individually. So when they have that synergy like that, and then they're just going to group and just fight. And when they're good and they're on a better page than other people, they're just going to win.
Yeah, just speed blitz is what it looked like for the most part from them. Maybe one game goes long for the Oni Warriors that panned out for them. But you brought up the offseason a little bit earlier, and I would like to hear about the offseason from you guys, because it's so interesting hearing the difference between a lot of these teams, where some teams are really scrounging and trying very hard to find a roster. Other guys had to go through the play-ins. This roster was locked in pretty early, as I understand it. Did you all already have an inkling like this was going to happen? Maybe after Worlds you had a conversation, or is this something that you fell into? What was the establishment of this team like?
I mean, I guess I'll start. Going into the offseason, I did not really want to play with the Dragons again. Not that I was like, oh, I never want to touch any of you ever again on a team. It's like, it was kind of just like, I felt like I didn't really get to do what I wanted to on that team. Even though, you know, the great players.
Well, what is it that you wanted to?
I just felt like I was kind of more of like a supporting role on that team rather than like a leading one. You know, and they might have their different opinions about that. We obviously talked about it. We had a big team talk, like about what people wanted to do, what they thought about the team, stuff like that. Because, you know, you should, in my opinion. But after that, I messaged Ben, or he messaged me. It was one or the other. And I was just like, hey, what are you doing? And then I messaged a few other people. But I was kind of just like, you know, I want to play on a team that I think supports me, and lets me like lead or play the game how I want to. And I think, you know, the Bolts were a pretty good fit for what I wanted to do there. So, you know, that's just how I wanted to play the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. With the Bolts originally, I mean, you could speak to this a little bit more, Ben, but I felt like you guys did very often put your eggs in the Lazara basket. Like, it was a very jungle-centric team. It's what we would always say is if Lazara's having a good day, the Bolts are having a good day, and you would play through him. Is that the identity you're trying to carry over with Scream?
I don't know if it's necessarily the identity. To be honest, we had like a pretty big swap with the like backline. Like both Bear and I have to kind of play kind of how we wanted to in previous years, of like having a more like vocal front line, and that's something that we did really want. We kind of got that once we ended up getting like Baskin for the sake of helping Jake out to like talk more and feel like more confident to talk more, and then he ended up kind of getting there towards the end of the year into like the Worlds run and stuff. So that was kind of like a step where Bear and I could like talk a lot less with him. And then just going into this year, we kind of just wanted to just try to get a new front line going. I was really happy to play with Haddix again. Obviously, I think we did really good when he was on the team before. And then the person that I noticed from the was it the playoffs tournament?
The SPL kickoff.
Or before
the play-ins, the SPL play-ins.
Hari just played really well that tournament, or like the Worlds, pre-Worlds tournament. He just played really well that tournament, and I was just like, yeah, I think he's got a lot of potential. I mean, he's been grinding, watching people learn and stuff like that, so definitely really wanted to play with him again, or try to play with him. And then for Scream, I've played with him before. I've enjoyed playing with him. Last night I tried to want to stick together and just see if we could get something to happen, but I was also just going to like wait the whole entire time, and I really didn't mind just like playing with Scream for a year. I think we have always played together. I think historically we've always been top. Whenever we played together on Splice, we were top, and then obviously on United we were top before. So I was excited to give it a try with him again. So yeah.
What was the conversation with Barracuda like? Was it just understood that you two were sticking together? Is that something you intended?
There was stuff that like once Worlds was over and stuff like that, like we just chatted a bit and see what we wanted to do and if we wanted to keep playing or not play or whatever we wanted to do. And then Baron and I were just like, all right, let's just give it one more shot in the year and then just see what happens. And yeah, that's what the team ended up becoming, and happy that it did become this. So.
Weren't you spreading some Barracuda coach rumors as well?
Coach rumors?
You were spreading some rumors. Let's hear about it.
No, didn't you like do the Hazer interview and you were like, yeah, he might have wanted to coach or something. But the first day I loaded into Scrims and this guy's like, what was that guy talking about? Like, what is this guy on?
Basically, Barrow just didn't want to. This was for going like last year, going into Worlds. Like he didn't want to be the hindrance of stopping us from picking somebody up that can give us a higher chance of winning Worlds. So he was just like, I'm fine with just like coaching for that year or like the rest of the year. And then
did he have some names that maybe he had thrown out? Like, hey, if you guys can get this guy, like I'll coach. But
well, he didn't really care about the name. It was more just like if we thought as a team that we would be better off picking up this person, then he would just coach instead. But we didn't really want to do that. We didn't really want to swap out Barra.
It'd be hard to replace Barracuda. Yeah.
So we just ended up sticking with it, and then just went into this year. I didn't really want to play with another ADC going into this year anyway, so I just wanted to lock it in with Barra no matter what, and then go.
You're going on 3 years now with Barracuda as that backline core, so a lot of synergy built up there. Haddix, checking my math. Always checking my math.
Oh yeah, we started in Renegades, right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, this is the 4th year. Yeah.
You're a historian, Haddix. You just got it locked down.
Apparently.
Talk to me a little bit about your off season and maybe how the break with the Leviathans went. Did you have any other offers, or was this something that just came to you very quickly?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do a historian's, reciting like these guys did. I'm not gonna go into all the nitty gritty. After Worlds, we had a stinker of a performance for sure. And we were expected to come in and at least make it to finals, in my opinion. You
guys ruined. I believe we ran a fan bracket. JMac ran a challenge fan bracket where they could submit theirs. On day one, when you went out, 93% of the brackets were lost.
What?
You broke 93% of his brackets.
Jeez. It was 93% for us to win.
Not to win, but to at least make it past first round. Okay. A lot of them were to win as well.
Yeah, it was finals.
Yeah.
So I still think that we got bamboozled by those guys. Like, I don't know, bro. There's no way I could look at. You can always look at those players and say that they have the potential to do what they just did, right?
Mm-hmm.
But looking at that year, you could never these guys are gonna be good. These guys are gonna give us a hard time. We felt more confident in that matchup specifically than I think what was it? We had the option of Hex Mambo or something.
Ravens, Mambo.
Yeah, I know we didn't have Ravens.
It was the Warriors, the Titans, and
Kings chose Ravens first round.
Right.
Yeah, so we had the option between, I think, Mambo and Titans, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, you can look at it right in hindsight and say we should have taken Mambo. Obviously, it's an SEC team.
Mm-hmm.
We probably would have beat them for sure. But I think also looking at Titans' year and our performances against them, we thought it was going to be if not easier, because Mambo was looking hot. And anyone being an underdog coming into a Worlds event or a tournament, it doesn't matter who you are. You can beat the best teams just by having the underdog status and being hot from winning some games like Mambo did. But I think that Mambo looked considerably worse at Worlds compared to the tournament before that.
That's just us. That's just what we bring.
Right.
Got to capture some of that magic. You jumped on board.
Either way, though, after that performance, we lost, and then I think some people were very, very unhappy with how that went.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, oh yeah, we're gonna stick together or something like that. We were planning to stick together, and then things ended up going that way. So then they ended up splitting with me and Penny, and then I think I just kind of fell into the Ravens nest after that. I talked to some other teams, but it just didn't really end up working out, and then fell into the Ravens nest, and pretty happy to be here.
Pretty happy to be here so far. Haven't played too much yet. A lot of teams have said they've taken a pretty decent break from scrims. Is that true of you guys as well? Haven't had too many opportunities to practice up until now?
I think we've been scrimming for quite a bit.
I'm like 2 or 3 weeks before the tournament started.
Okay.
It was like pretty lenient. Like we're just kind of like getting some games in, honestly. It's not like, we're not like hunkered down like, oh, we need to win this week. It's not like, you know, we're just getting like, we're just building up some synergy maybe a little bit.
Getting some reps in as a team.
Yeah. How do you feel about the group that you'd ended up in? I believe you guys are in the order group. A lot of people are saying Group B probably a little bit more stacked, but I believe it was actually Final K yesterday that it said you guys are ridiculously slept on, which makes me believe scrims are going very well for the Ravens. How do you project the Group A to go pan out for you?
That's a bad thing.
It usually is, but recently, I mean, the Warriors scrims are going well too.
We're the order group, right?
Yes.
We're called the order division.
Yeah, Group A, order division, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're kind of stomping a lot of teams in scrims, besides the Warriors, I guess, but we haven't scrimmed them in like a week and a half.
Yep.
Honestly, I think we fit into this group really well. I think the Kings and the Ferrymen I think we're a pretty good, like, play to late game team. I feel like our late games have been pretty strong, generally. And I think we also have the potential to play really fast. Like, you know, I mean, I'm just a fast player historically. In some games.
Humble.
He loves it, doesn't he? I mean, any chance he gets it.
Well, I mean, he's not lying. He has historically been a fast player. Yeah. I'll give him that.
Historically, I'm also a high winning player. I'm also really.
Yeah, what is yours? You're like 65% win rate.
I'm about like if I'm Scream right now. Yeah, he just takes the chance. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, sometimes, you know, I'll explode in a game, and you know.
I mean,
it'll be my game.
You want to elaborate on that? Like, what does that mean exactly?
Sometimes
we get the dogs in us too.
Yeah.
Like, what would Scream exploding like really mean?
Sometimes, you know, I get a few kills early game, and I'm just like, you know, I'm tearing open the game. Simple as that.
So we want you to keep exploding.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Scream, you roll up to a lane, you know, early gank. Your laner takes the kill. How does that affect your mental, man?
I mean, sometimes I'm not particularly happy about it. But honestly, I've been trying to abuse these XP mechanics lately. So.
You want to be lowest level in the lobby.
We did try it in the Warriors set. Try it.
No, yeah. He put on a showing.
You actually taught me something in that Warrior set. For those of you that didn't watch the set, Scream, I'm sorry to bring this up. At one point, you were 5 levels down on Panatom. They were funneling farm into him.
No, he was like 6 levels, 7 levels down.
6, 7 levels down.
Yeah, I threw the game, but it's no big deal. I threw the game.
No, he was level 18 Bakasura, and I think Scream was level 11.
You were about 7 levels down.
I don't know, something like that.
But
at one point, I was literally just like, guys, like, I'm gonna keep throwing my life away until I get a kill because it's worth it no matter what I do.
Yeah. You eventually got that kill. I pulled up the combat logs. You gained, what was it, 1,400 gold and 3 levels off of one kill.
And then I killed the Hades in the next
immediately
fight.
afterward,
And then I gained 2 levels and 1,000 gold from that as well.
900, right?
Yeah, they removed the cap now. Well, the cap is still there, but there's the bounty on top of it and all that.
Yeah, I know they boosted it, but that's...
You gained
our comms after he was
ridiculous.
Just like, guys, we can actually win this. I just gained 9 levels in like 2 minutes.
I was level 12 and both my carries were level 16. A fight happens. I'm level 18. They're level 17. I'm like, guys, I'm the highest level on our team. We can win.
I was casting that set. I said, wow, there's no way they could come back. You know, he's so far behind. It would take 5 team fights to win out and catch back up.
Saw that we were playing.
And then I saw you got 1 kill and you would immediately caught back up. And I remember explicitly I said, did the Warriors just throw?
Yeah.
Fortunately for them, they were able to pull it back. Maybe unfortunately for you
guys.
Cool? Is that dope?
Is that cool that you can just get 2 kills on 2 good players and just...
To be fair, you know, level 12, you know, you're working at a level 20 with a toothpick, and you know, maybe you deserve 5 levels real quick.
Well, maybe. 5, I don't know. But...
I farmed that whole game, and then you were like, "I'm ahead of you." It's like, "Oh, okay, nice, man."
Yeah, I was theory crafting, limit testing.
Yeah.
Yep,
testing for sure.
All of them.
Yep.
Yeah. So is that something maybe you've made an active decision for in season 10? Not necessarily to fall that far behind, but to sacrifice farm for fights.
It's more like, you know, if I see Hurry's like 7 levels down on the guy we're trying to kill, I'm like, guys, give this kill to this guy. Like, we'll see what he can get out of that. Okay. So you know,
it's a lot.
I mean, it's worth it if you can like. You know, sometimes you might even drop a kill because of it, but you know, if like, let's say your support ever gets a kill, the guy gets like 3 levels off of it, hits a starter first, and you're like winning the game. Like, it's pretty powerful.
Keep that in mind, ranked players. I see you guys out there. When I'm level 9 and it's 40 minutes in, let me get a kill. You know, just let it happen.
If you're 9 at 40, I think you may have messed up.
Dude, my DoorDash just got there. My dog needed a walk. All right, give me a second. You know, no, that is absolutely ridiculous. What I had saw in that game. So. Clearly, limit testing certainly there. You taught everybody something that day.
Yeah, maybe should be changed a little bit, but
a little bit of adjustment.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the comeback mechanics, or maybe the shifts to Smite in general in season 10?
I actually think they've been really good this year so far. I think it's going in the right way, right direction.
Mid laners liking this meta. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
No, just like everything, like change wise, I think it's good. I do think the only thing that I'm saying is I feel like tanks just need like 10% mid somewhere. In an item that doesn't enable them to be thrown into the jungle.
This guy crazy.
Yeah. A mitigation 10%? Item.
Yeah. Does he know what items he builds right now?
Yeah, I'm thinking everybody's buying a 10% mid.
Yeah, that's the problem. Tanks are like making it.
Maybe it's got to be like like a guardian class reward, something like that. Like assassins get their
I don't think you want to do class rewards because if you get free mid, then they'll go somewhere else.
We can buff tanks, but we need to nerf supports.
What do you mean by that?
They buy Thieves, they buy Prophetic Cloak, and they buy like all the other OP support items. They're capped procs on 3 items, and they're complaining about that they die. It's like, well yeah.
Look at what supports are actually buying.
They die because look at the carries items, bro.
Yeah.
They are ridiculous.
I should be killing tanks.
Okay, but it's
at 3 items you're killing tanks.
Hey, get more XP.
Bro, you have Ratatouille, Doom Orb,
Orb's crazy.
2350 gold, by the way, Deso.
That was an odd change for me.
Ratatouille, anyone likes doing bonus damage 60% below?
Yeah, I've been playing mid recently because season 10's been good to you guys.
Finally, to be fair, we've definitely got the short end of the sticks for like 3 years straight.
They've been living lavishly.
Yeah, but you also have like 60% of the god pool as well.
True.
You guys got options, you know.
That is true.
Something's always going to be good.
Like, are you loving just snap blocking AMC every game for 4 years straight? Like,
no, I was hating that, legitimately. Yeah, maybe mages need to be good for a little bit. All right, I'm with you, man.
I'm outnumbered here, bro. I'm outnumbered here. There's not a single tank player at the table. These guys, they had tablet. They had the proc build.
They did have the proc build.
And then guess what? They nerfed soul laners for the 3rd or 4th patch in a row.
Yeah, that's something I
and then like, you know what?
Interesting one.
These mages were already broken. Let's buff their items again. Let's buff them again.
Well, you know, in their defense, the design team, when solo was good, you guys were real good. I'm thinking like mitigation, Robin. It was like only a month or 2, but it was real good.
I think the problem is that at a higher level, tanks are not as OP as they are at a lower level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I think when tanks are OP at a lower level, everyone hates it so much because like carries aren't good. They aren't good enough to like actually like build well and like kill them in group
and like play together. Like both carries.
I just don't think that they're good enough, right? So like at the higher level, they're still good enough to kill you, but they're a bigger problem than normal.
Yeah.
So like for me, I guess I'm like I'm not that broken right now, but like I definitely feel strong. But for the lower levels, they're like this guy's just unkillable. It's literally God.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, I've had the luxury of loading into once or twice on alt names. I played against a Haddix in a ranked game. And, it's not pretty for me. Like I will not claim those matches if you catch my drift.
I understand.
Yeah, so I can understand that a bit. But yeah, top to bottom, we think what top 2 out of this group? Are we projecting qualify directly to Masters? Or maybe even just give me like the seeding breakdown.
Qualified?
I don't really know.
Number 1 qualifies directly to Masters. Okay. Otherwise, the other 3 have to go to a play-in tournament that would also incorporate the lower seeds of play.
After
that's like the phase 1 capper tournament.
Okay.
It would be. Is it the 2nd week or is it the 1st week for June?
Don't ask me about dates.
Hold on. Let's start some spice. All right. Who's the worst in the group?
What the? Oh,
I think that's pretty. It's actually pretty difficult to say.
Haddix, yeah, you can lead this one. I think you have some opinions. I mean, I just want you to say the one you're thinking.
Well, I mean, Hounds beat Ferrymen, right? So
Ferrymen are the worst.
I mean, if I'm looking at it like statistically, then it's either us or Ferrymen, like statistically, right? Because Hounds won a set, we didn't.
That's true. Wait, Hounds. Wait, who did Hounds face after Ferrymen?
I think Hounds are actually going to be a solid team this year.
I think Hounds ran into the Kings after Ferrymen.
Okay.
I'm just a Coast Pat believer though.
Okay.
Those guys are gonna stay in the league for a while, I think.
So last is he's hesitating.
I'll say it.
It's the Ravens. We're humble.
Okay.
What?
I'm humble.
Okay.
Scream can't believe it.
I'm literally the humblest in the room right
it's
now.
like the hounds.
Am I not the humblest? I'm the humblest in
It's
the
the
room.
hounds.
No,
It's
I've
the
got wild
hounds.
ego for sure.
No, I'm
You
the
think it's the
I'm the
hounds?
most
It's
humble
the
guy
hounds.
you'll ever meet.
I think hounds are probably better than ferrymen.
Nah, I'd say.
I'm pretty sure hounds can play early game better.
Unfortunately, I'm a Paul believer. So
I'm a Paul believer as well after last year. He made me.
he's a guy.
He made me a believer.
He's a guy on the
true.
battleground for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say the hounds, and then like the ferryman third, and then us or kings first.
Give Kings first. You think so?
No, it's us or the kings. I mean, it depends. I don't know. We'll see how late game the game goes. But I feel like give us like a mid game meta in this group, and I feel like we're kind of owning everybody.
I don't even know what our playstyle is, to be honest.
Yeah, we started with that. We never landed anywhere.
I don't
with
know.
It. Yeah.
They asked me in the whatever it's called, the matchup. I'm like, I don't even know, bro. I think we're like an early game, mid game team.
We're flexible.
Really, man.
We'll say that we're
Okay.
flexible.
Hey, we have definitely had our fair share.
I mean, we're flexible, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
I get some games that I
Keep people
guess.
guessing a little bit.
Yeah, we can
Keep
play it all.
ourselves
We can
guessing.
play it all. Some teams can't, but we can.
All right. So we'll say mid game for now, but
Sure.
that feels like we're riding the fence a little bit. Do you foresee the metas going much longer though? I mean, considering what we've seen in season 10 so far,
Oh yeah.
it is we come into season 10, a massive shift to the entirety of the game, and then we get to the season of hope, a massive shift to the entirety of the game. If all the meta changes, if all these season changes are going to be reflective of that, we might just be in a constant state of flux as far as competitive play is going. Is that something you can see yourselves thriving in? Are we just living in an Oni Warriors world where it's all, everybody's clown fiesting, so it's just about running it down? Or
Listen, Oni Warriors, they're a great team, and they've definitely looked like the best team. But it's also a kickoff tournament where they probably have the most synergy out of any of these teams. And I mean, maybe not all of them, right? There's still there was cores that stuck together, but they have some of the best synergy, and this probably caters to their playstyle the best out of any team. These other teams are still getting used to metas and getting used to playing with each other and how they want to play with each other. So while the Oni Warriors are the GOATs, they're riding them a little bit too hard.
You're saying it was a Mickey win.
I'm not saying it's a Mickey win. I'm saying
give me a
you gotta
degree
put
of Mickey-ness.
Put it into perspective. You know what I mean? It's a kickoff tournament. You got to relax. All right. Gabe Ethan was in the dome.
Gabe Ethan was in there.
Gabe Ethan in the Thunderdome. Listen, all I'm saying is it wasn't his fault that they lost.
Yeah,
all
people
right?
were kind of
He's the best player on the team.
Oh,
He was kind of cooking some games.
Game one was Gabe Ethan's
when he
world
was the
for
bird.
sure.
When he was the bird.
Yeah. Then they took him off the bird.
Yeah. Either way, though, Oni Warriors, they're the GOATs, but people are overhyping them right now.
Okay. So you don't foresee the Oni Warriors staying on top?
Well, I think that they may be a top team. You literally don't know, right? I think the casters, you guys put them at either bottom or top, right?
Yeah, I had them highest ranked of the casters.
But that's the team though, is that they can probably have a really great performance or a really bad performance, but we haven't seen a bad one yet. But, I think that they're just a complete gamble.
And that's always a fan favorite style of play to watch.
Personally, it was the team I was most excited to watch.
Yeah.
I think it's probably everyone's. It's just entertaining.
It's definitely run. Okay, well, you didn't have to show.
Well, you put them the highest, so you can be proud.
I did, yeah, but I also was hoping we wouldn't show this because where I had the Ravens on there.
Well, I mean, you put the ferryman.
That's how it goes, dude. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, things are gonna get shifted up. This is before we had all 8 teams in the league.
Leviathan's doubter.
When you lose Panatom and Haddix, you lose a little bit of my faith as well. I think
Panatom was kind of the glue.
Are you saying they're bad?
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying that. Wow, this ain't my interview screen, but I'll say it anyway.
Well, now
you're a caster. So. Let's hear some tea, if you will.
I was of the belief that the 2 best players on that team were Haddix and Panatom, and I thought it was Panatom by a long mile. I've said it for a while. I think he's one of the best junglers in the world, if not straight up the best jungler in the world. I'm sorry, Scream.
He's good.
So when you lose those guys, I'm thinking the Leviathans go down a bit.
He's not me, but he's good.
All right, if it's anyone else, who else is it? Give me your top 3 junglers. Give me your Mount Rushmore of the jungle, Scream. You've got such a unique...
Mount Rushmore or the current good junglers?
Current.
Let's give me current. Yeah, give me current.
Okay, it's definitely just me and Panny.
You and Panny. Massive gap.
Let him cook.
Okay.
Wow, this gap is growing.
Wow, let me look at the teams again. It's probably Lazarus, actually. It's Lazarus third.
Lazarus third.
Where's Ben?
That's good. Lazarus deserves more respect, I think. He's very good.
Ben's he's like a system, put it into sports terms. He's like a system player is how I view Ben.
Okay.
Captain Twig, if you will.
You mean he's just a facilitator?
No, he's a system player.
What does that mean? What is a system player?
Please explain, elaborate.
Like, it depends on the game style they're playing for, and, you know, not all their game plan is going to revolve around him being, like, you know, super hard carry, but, you know, he plays the occasional Hun bots and he goes crazy sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
How's that different from a facilitator, man?
What do you mean?
Well, because he said facilitator and you said
well,
no.
facilitator playstyle, they don't have a good time when they're trying to carry a game. They usually
That's true.
They usually
Ben does
falter.
carry
Yeah,
some games.
it's the Lancelot for sure. Is
Yeah,
like
so
one of
He
his
carried on
favorite
bots
picks.
too recently, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a system player. I think he can. You know, I just think most of their game plan is going to revolve around like big men or Yarkor carrying their games. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is like that's just how they play. That's fine.
I think they have a front line that facilitates their back line. It's pretty similar to like how Levi's played as well, where you just set up your back line.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
You just don't dive in like Harry. I don't think Harry genetics and maybe a little bit. Yeah, they generally tend to just feed into their back line.
if they let big men take him to the moon.
And he does. When he gets to level 20, big man, he makes his big plays.
Yep. He plays Vulcan and he
But
one-shots people.
is that big man being good, or is that their front line being good?
A little bit of both.
Call him A, call him B.
But who's more?
I don't know. Genetics is bad, so
Really? You think genetics is bad?
Erwin owns.
Straight up, you're going to
True.
tell me genetics is bad.
What the scrims I've seen, it's
Fair
either
enough.
diffy.
Yeesh.
I look forward to
I
seeing
didn't know we
that.
were going this deep in scrims. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to seeing that for sure. What about newcomer to the league, Oath? How do you feel about his jungle play?
I mean, he's a Challenger Cup jungler. I mean, I think he's good. He's obviously been winning in the Challenger Cup for a while. But I don't think there's a lot of jungle is a very weird role. Maybe it's actually easier this year to come in because it's really individualistic, I think. But I think there's a lot of nuances to SPL jungle comparatively to like a Challenger Cup or whatever. Like there's a lot of things that you should be doing for your team or macro wise that the Challenger Cup junglers just don't do ever, you know. And I think you'll either catch on to them and he'll be fine, or he won't, and it'll be like obvious kind of thing. Like, you know, I'll use Kirmi as an example. Last year, there was a lot of games where I think Kirmi did a lot of good things for his team, but there was also some games where he was just like having a really tough time when they were like behind, as an example, or stuff like that. And I just think that's just because he's a rookie, and I think jungle's a really hard role to play against like really smart players. I think who play the role like, you know, Captain Twig or me or Panny, who like can abuse things like that. So it's just a hard role to play, but I think he'll be fine.
in there.
And throw Lazar in there as well.
Lasper, he's an animal, but I mean I don't know how he thinks, I guess, so that's on you guys.
Yeah, he's an animal, but you're a different beast, right?
Right.
Yep.
You guys seen the Kobe system? I feel like that's a commercial that you can get behind, bro.
I mean, that's a beautiful mindset to have.
Yeah, how many more records do my records need to break?
What's your bold prediction on Oath
On Oath?
this year?
Man, you're asking me too many questions in this segment, but
So
my take on Oath is I've actually been in a unique position as a caster to watch him grow as a player coming out of all these
SCC?
events. We had to, yes. I paid to cast those.
They cast it, yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm saying like him specifically.
yeah,
they all do it.
I did a fair deal, and I got to watch his events. What I've seen from Oath is that there is a direct correlation to the confidence with which he plays and with which he conducts himself. So if he's coming into an event and Oath's got his hood up and he's being quiet and he's got his earbuds in, that's not him locked in. That guy's gonna drop the fattest stinker you've ever seen. He is not impervious to letting nerves get the best of him.
You think Hoodie Oath is kind of weak?
I'm thinking Hoodie Oath is the worst version of Oath I've ever seen. He comes in a t-shirt, be shook, okay? He's shook if he's wearing a t-shirt, but
Okay.
he's a player that can get in his own head. He can
Some
get in
players
his own
on
head.
hoodies go hard though.
Hoodie, yeah, I mean, I've seen the Titans at Worlds. That was Hoodie Titans.
You ever seen Boronic in a hoodie, bro?
No, that guy's always trying to show off his
What's
pump.
he always in a hoodie? Literally always.
Bro, he was a hoodie player for sure. He's a hoodie player for sure, but
Okay. What is that? Is that an example of good or bad, Scream?
good, I'd say, for the most part.
Okay. But yeah, my prediction for Oath is if he can get over the hump of, oh my God, I'm playing against Barracuda. You know, I've watched that guy since I was 9 years old, or I'm playing against Haddix, or if I'm playing against Zatman. If he can get over that hump and not look at the other player names, I expect that he's going to play very well. He's a young guy. I think he grew up with this game, so he's got the mechanics for it. It's learning to adapt to the meta of the SPL, learning to adapt to playing at the highest level and figuring out communication. The standard macro stuff.
I wonder if people get starstruck like that. I doubt it.
Oh, I used to
It
all
happens.
the time, personally.
You think like a new player that
It happens
to
when you're coming into the league or you're young now.
Yeah.
Happened to me for sure.
Dude, Lazarus made me cry in a ranked game when I was 15 years old because I was so excited to play with him, and he told me I was bad. I literally cried and talked to my mom.
I was in a cursed voice, and I was playing off-roll with 4 pros on my team. Like, I had Shadow Q, I think, and Zap. And I was stinking it up on Scylla, bro, and I felt so bad.
Yep.
But Shadow Q, he was hyping me up in the game, and then I think we won like 50 minutes in, and I was like, nice.
Yeah, and you're also one of the younger players in the league, Scream, so you can speak to that as well. I mean, Oath's coming in. He's essentially, earlier on his journey. What is he, 17, 18 years old?
Yeah, I was 15 when I joined the SPL, but like, no big deal.
Oh, he's 20? Okay, well that's
19 or 20 or something like that.
That's still, it's really intimidating coming in and seeing all these names that you haven't had the opportunity to play with so much. So.
Yep. For sure. It's a little bit different now, though, because I feel like
Get him in the room.
It's really the community is really like, what's the word? I mean, I don't know. It's more like connected, I guess, in a word than it used to be. Like, I feel like if you were joining the SPL in like season 3, there's like a lot of like EU SPL players that like you think highly of that you don't get to play against ever. But like now it's kind of like you play against the 40 SPL players if you play North American and ranked and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just a little different.
Yeah, I see the SPL players if I go shopping, that's where I see them personally. I don't get into your lobbies. I'm like 2,400, so.
You're in the SOT lobbies.
Yes, and he lets me know every time I see him. I don't know how he's still there because I've never lost to him, or won against him, I should say. But you heard my prediction for the Hounds. I think you even brought it up earlier. This is a meta that might revolve around frontline support and jungle. I think that Quig is very good. I think Oath has the potential to be very good. What do you guys think for the Hounds? I mean, they're in your group. Are you worried about them?
Sure, they are in my group. Yeah,
they're the only team we haven't scrimmed yet, right?
Yeah, we were gonna, and then
so you've never played against the Hounds in any shape or fashion.
Well, we were going to play once and then they got canceled. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it wasn't them canceling on you, right?
Did we cancel?
I think it was because
Bear had a doctor's appointment or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Classic.
He gave us a day of doctor's appointment. So
what can you do about it?
He's lying. I can tell.
That guy is. And talk to me about this, Ven, and Haddix, you can speak to it as well. Why is Bear always sick? Why is he always sick?
Dude, he's like 30-something, man. Give him a break.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but like Gamma was immunocompromised, and he wasn't always sick. Barracuda comes in, and my man is ill at every event. What is he doing? It's got to be something.
Maybe he just doesn't leave his house, and that's why. I don't know.
Now, shouldn't it be the other way around?
No, if you leave your home, then you're like getting in contact with a lot of things.
He leaves quite often.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you sit in your room,
then I don't know, bro. He's just Bear.
If you sit in your room all day, you're not going to get sick.
He got sick all the time before I got on his team, so.
Yeah.
Get that man to invest in some emergency, especially when land's starting to roll up.
He's probably got everything that you could possibly have, to be honest.
It's not enough.
Wakes up on game day and he's taking like 30 different pills to be safe.
Someone's got to check those pills, I think.
Bro, what was it? The last tournament he got sick, right?
Yeah. Every tournament we've done since I've started, he has been sick.
Not Worlds, right?
No, he was good for. That's the first. He tweeted it out too. It was such an event. He said, "First event, I'm not sick," and it was Worlds. And I'm sure he went home with a nerd flu.
Oh, sure. There was a lot of people who got sick at Worlds.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes, though, kind of. So it's like a convention.
Yeah.
I got the nerd flu.
My dad got owned as well.
I got avoided.
Yeah.
Or I avoided it.
Lucky.
Sneaked right out of there.
Yeah, I was pumping emergency. Dude, I saw you walking around, Van. You got swamped constantly. I felt like you couldn't take 5 steps without signing 10 shirts.
Yeah.
He's the Bolts midlaner. He was the Bolts midlaner.
I started going in where the center was so I could like sneak back away if I needed to. It's fun though. I missed that.
We'll have some opportunities, I think, to interact with fans throughout this year. But I'm thinking it might happen.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, absolutely nothing.
This guy just leaked everything.
Holy moly!
Talk to me about maybe what happens if the fellas aren't in the SPL. If last year was your last year, do you guys have fallback plans? Smite vanishes tomorrow. Thanos snaps his fingers. What's Ven getting up to?
I mean, like you can't even stream Smite, you mean?
Yeah, Smite's gone.
Probably would just try hard like Apex and stream Apex.
So content creation's just your passion, you think?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think Apex is like a good, a very fun game to stream.
Sure.
And has like a lot of like just like competitiveness in it, where like I'm a big fan of it. Like if people are streaming scrims and stuff, like I love watching that stuff. So that's definitely something. And if not, I have like a family business that I can work for as well. Yeah.
Oh, what is? I mean, if you don't mind me prying.
Yeah, I actually can't say what it is, but
wow,
it's one of those.
So we got like a little Ozark thing going on here, a little Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's criminal.
Literally, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Not criminal.
I don't know. I think. Well, I mean, I got lucky, and I was playing like SEC in high school or something, and then I finished high school, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna play SPL now. So I got lucky. I haven't even worked a normal job in my life yet. So.
Never really.
No, I'm a privileged little kid. It is what it is.
That is, that's unique.
But I'm grateful. You know, I'm grateful. So yeah, I don't know. I think I would just have to be smart with my money, and then hopefully make some investments.
Okay.
And try not to work, but I also don't mind. I think it would actually be fun. Now that I've literally only like done online jobs and like never even worked, I think it'd actually be fun working some jobs that I'd be interested in.
Anything stand out as a potential interest?
Wall Street.
Yeah, Wall Street. Yeah,
some stockbrokers.
Yeah. Like we talking like Wolf of Wall Street? We talking like just penny stocks? What are we doing?
I think probably like I usually like work with my hands, like probably some hands-on work, maybe a trade, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know how bad that would be. Maybe I'd be like, my body be broken after a few years or something. I don't know.
I worked at Amazon for a fair bit.
Yeah.
I worked there for 8 months at one point. I was at the heaviest I was in my life. In that 8 months, I dropped 50 pounds. Whoa, I averaged walking about 15 miles a day. And I lived on the second floor of my apartment. Some nights I would sleep in my car because I was so tired when I got off work. So
that was crazy.
Look forward to that.
That was the grind, though. That was the grind.
Yeah, I mean, you get yacked for sure. You get yacked, and without a degree in Tennessee, you can't really beat $18 an hour. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's different though, because you guys have worked job. I don't know about Scream actually. Scream got lucky. He won Worlds when he was like 15 or something, or 16.
Yeah, no, 16. No big deal.
Bought a small palace in
so
Dubai.
I guess we're in the same boat then. But for other people, they probably have an idea, right? But I don't. But
yeah,
who knows?
Hey, you've got options ahead of you. You know. What about you, Scream?
I also have no idea. I joined the SPL when I was 15 in middle school. So
wow, 15 in middle school.
14 maybe. Yeah. It was
14 in middle school.
I was in 8th grade, so I was going into high school.
13.
No way, right?
Freshman year, you're 14. You graduated at 18.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it sounds right, I guess. I don't know, something 14, 15 area. Yeah. And I was kind of like, I don't know, it was weird. It was like I was like a mini celebrity in school. It was kind of strange.
Did people know about it when you were in school?
Yeah, well, my friends knew about it, and they were kind of like...
Was there a newspaper about it?
And then it spread it. No, maybe.
You got an article in the school newspaper?
There was a newspaper.
It was
you got one too?
It was really weird, and it was not really...
You surely have kept that newspaper. That would be on my wall.
It was bad.
It was a picture. It was a picture of him sitting on like a bench.
Yeah, it was strange.
They got a candid shot of you, bro?
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was
weird. Yeah. It wasn't something I was like proud of. It was kind of they just I don't know. It was weird.
They wanted to milk you. That's what I got.
Yeah.
I got milked. Unlucky.
What?
Okay. We're gonna check in with that in a second. Go ahead, Scream.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've played Smite like my whole life. Like it's really weird. You know, like 10, 11 years at this point. And I've never worked a job, and I've been like pretty grateful to not do so. And I don't think I'd enjoy it very much. But you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But my dad, he's a welder, so maybe getting into a trade like that wouldn't be the most difficult thing ever, you know, because obviously he's experienced in it.
Welders make bank.
Yeah.
If TikTok is anything to believe.
Yeah, no,
they're doing all right.
He makes a good amount of money, to say that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I could definitely work a job. I think it'd be fine. But you know, I just kind of view it as like life. You know, sometimes you just gotta work a job, and that's money. You need money to live.
So you think if you were to work, maybe it would be trade, like trade school or physical labor or something like that.
Ideally, I don't have to work because I just like playing
Nobody
video games.
wants to work.
Yeah, I just like playing video games, doing my own thing. But I think I could do a trade. Outside of that, though, I mean, I don't really think like any of the technical stuff, like computer science or anything's for me. Maybe I'd go to college, honestly. I don't think I'd mind going to college. I think it'd be neat. But I don't know. You know, outside of that, I haven't really thought about it.
That's
crazy. I don't need to.
You would want to go to college?
Yeah, I heard it's pretty fun.
I would never want to go to college.
College is fun if you're not worried about your grades. I'll say that with absolute certainty.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because...
Just waste your money, don't worry about your grades, but you're going to have fun.
The parties are nuts, let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to waste my money, but, you know, it's weird. Like, you're growing up, and it's like you're taught to go to college thing with a school. So it's just kind of like, a lot of people view it as like the next step in life. Like after high school, it's just like, oh, you go to college now. And I kind of fell into that, I think, a little bit. So, but I don't know. I don't know. I just don't really know yet.
Okay. Yeah. Plenty of time to think about it, or maybe not have to think about it at all when you guys win worlds and line your pockets.
Yep.
School celebrity event. Tell me about that.
Milked.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Tell us about the milk.
Mine was 1 year after your year. So I would be in 9th grade, 14, 15. Yeah.
Yep, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so 14, 15 is when I started, and then my school was like really bad at it. They were like really strict on like if you're out of school, you have to have like a doctor's note to be like excused for more than 1 day.
Is that like were you at like a private school?
No, it was a public school.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were like super strict, and then if you had 3 or more or 5 or more without like a doctor's excuse,
Yeah,
or like
unexcused absences.
Yeah, you got sent to the like parole officer. Like you got to go to court for parole officer.
They put a little ankle bracelet on you, bro.
Yeah, to get somebody to like make sure that you're going to school. Like they would show up to your house and be like, okay, it's time to go. And like, yeah. So that never happened to me.
Jesus.
But
You had to get the Cooper note.
Yeah, how did you get permission? Yeah, Cooper.
I got the Cooper note.
That was one of our previous
every
admins,
single time.
We had
I
to
would
have
be
Cooper write up a draft on a note.
I'd be like, all right, Cooper, you just keep writing me notes so I can get out of school here. And he's like, all right, and just kept giving me them every single time that I needed to fly out or anything like that. And then, like once I got salary on first time on ALG, on ALG was the first time, and then I think it was going into sophomore year. That's when I got on E United, and then we had to like travel a bunch, and then that was a fiesta, right? Like traveling all the time out of school, like probably like once, like for like a week and a half every
like 3 or 4 months about.
Yeah. So out quite a bit of school, and then won Worlds that year, and then I like started taking off school like a bunch, right? Because it is a lot of traveling for being young and you're not used to it, so you're pretty drained, right?
Yeah.
And like the teachers weren't like super supportive as well. Like they were like, "Yeah, you missed this lesson, like
and this test, we gave you a 0, so good luck."
And then I started like. My principal was a really big person on like he wanted like public eye on him. Like he really just wanted the school to be like, oh, this is like such an amazing school. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this here. And then I went like up to him and like I was like, oh yeah, I won this tournament, like this big tournament for this many people and stuff like that. And then he was like, oh, this is like really, really cool.
Wait, why'd you tell him?
Because he wanted the school backing.
Yeah, just gaslit his principal.
Right. So then I wanted the advantage here, and then my principal was just like, if you have any problems with like any of your teachers or like if you need anything, just like go to him. And I was like, I'm actually having a couple of problems with like a couple of my classes.
Yo,
like,
Miss Smith is being awful.
And he was like, oh yeah, we have like this, like there's like an assistant teacher in like our career and tech thing. It was just like a smaller building that helped you like progress in your career or whatever. And then I would just go to that teacher. That teacher would just whip out a book of like all of the stuff, and I would take the test with the book. Every time no one knew, and I just started getting like A's and everything, and I was like, yes, this is good. And then there you go, moved on.
Crazy.
This is how we find out that Ben does not know basic algebra. Like, just never had to do it.
Oh, it was so good. I took statistics. Statistics was rough.
Oh,
especially when
that's
you're
made me
out.
drop out of college. Yeah,
because I was really good at math, so I did get put into statistics my junior year. And then I was just like, yeah, this is like really hard. And I'm also not even here. And my teacher doesn't even help. So I just started going to that guy, and he's just like, yep, here's the book. Here's your test. Go ahead. Pass that. Hey,
you got the D1 athlete treatment. You were like head of the football team type beat. That's
that was
crazy.
Nice. Yeah.
And a newspaper article as well.
Yeah.
Was it, you told the principal, and he's like, yep.
I had to wear my jersey, bring my MVP trophy in, sit there. They took a picture, and then they like wrote down a bunch of notes of like what it was. And they released the newspaper of it.
This guy said that he got milked. I think he milked them.
Yeah, you owned them.
Both ways.
I think he milked.
We were both milking. You know?
I mean, it sounds like a mutual milking then.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I definitely got the upper hand on it, but you know.
You got straight A's for looking at a book. I mean.
Yep. Hey. And then some of my teachers, like, they were really supportive as well of it. And they're just like, I'll just give you an A. Just go do what you do.
What?
Go
go
win worlds.
I got
just go.
My English teacher, take
an A.
All of my computer teachers, like I took like 4 computer classes because it's just like easy for me. They're just like, I know you know this, just go, and just I don't care. And I started like going to this one teacher's class like for 4 hours of the 6 hours a day. I just sit in that person's class, and she'd just be like, yeah, he's doing something for me, and that's like where I just stayed and like drive, pick up like donuts or something for the class. So,
Your life was a movie, bro. You had
it was
good
senior
in school.
year. It was my senior year. It was so good.
Why didn't Scrat do this?
This guy literally cheated his way through school. I'm hearing
You could have
that.
done it.
Yeah, you didn't think about it. Huh?
You
Why didn't
gotta
you do
take
it?
the advantage.
No, okay.
It's all about who you know. You know, I learned that.
I was fine in every class. I didn't skip. I got my work in, unlike you apparently.
I got my work in.
I didn't get my work in, and I skipped a lot.
Yeah, the only trouble I had was like physics, and like physics
Really?
when you miss a lot of physics, it's not
Okay,
easy.
yeah.
You're
That's
like,
fair.
what's
Science
going
in
on?
general, right? I feel like it's just you got to be there.
I just
for
didn't
it.
understand physics. Like, what's the class you get after physics? It's
Is that chemistry?
Biology?
next?
no, sorry, it was chemistry that I was bad in. I ended with like a C, which
Yo,
you know a lot of people.
forget
Okay.
chemistry, bro.
A lot of people don't. a lot
I
of
was
people
actually
don't
there
do
during
this.
chemistry class, and I understand where you're coming from on that. If
It-
I was not there, it's over.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely over.
Yeah, but
There's
then
no
I go
way.
into physics and theory. I'm perfectly fine at physics. Like, who needs to know chemistry, bro? It just makes no
Nobody
sense.
memorize the periodic table. Why?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah,
dude.
and then like you get into like math when it has like letters, and it's just like it's not even fun anymore. I was really good at math when I was in like elementary school, but it's just like not fun once they add letters.
was 4 + 4?
That's-
I was quick.
That banged.
I was quick.
That banged.
Listen, what when they give you the what are they called, the test where it's like the multiplier test?
What's 9 plus 10 for you?
multiple table.
Multiplication
Multiple-
table?
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
called something. It's like a certain type of test, and you get it. We got it like every week, and I would own
Like
it.
1x1, 2x.
Yeah, and you'd have to go down the table.
That's an algebra test,
Yeah.
bro.
No.
Oh, the multiplication tables?
multiplication table. It is just a multiplication.
I'm pretty sure it's like a certain test name, like it's called something. But anyways, regardless, I was good at math, and then I just didn't care anymore because it wasn't cool.
And now look at him now, Chad. If you
yeah.
guys are in school, take this guy.
Okay, funny story
Don't
though.
take any advice
Funny
from my
story
man.
though.
Stop doing math.
Funny story. I think it was like 2 years ago. I was drunk. Okay, and
And you're
It's a
23
great start
at
to a
least, right?
story.
Yeah, you're 23.
I was
right?
above age limit.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
but
at least 24
Anyways,
now.
it doesn't pertain to the story. It doesn't pertain to the story. I made one of my I need her tweets, okay? And one of my teachers from high school literally DM'd me on Twitter, and he's like, "You having a rough night, man?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, bro." And he's like, "It's okay. Everybody's been there." And like this teacher was awesome. This guy is a great person.
He
Like,
sounds dope.
yeah, no,
Sounds
he's like the cool teacher in school.
Uh-huh.
He's just an awesome guy. And I just thought it was so funny that night. Like, I was dying laughing, and it was just the funniest thing ever. I was like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Dude, you guys have better lives than me. That's crazy.
Well, these guys had it during school, bro. I just got out.
Yeah,
sure.
How old were you when you started, Haddix?
I don't even remember, man. I just remember moving down here, and then I'm
18,
like,
right? Yeah.
what? Like when I joined SPL?
Yeah, when
it
we
was
first moved in the house.
I think it was 2019, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, wait.
Wait,
Wait,
no,
why are you
2020.
asking? You're the one with dates. We've been knowing you're the guy with the dates.
Well, I'm surprised because usually my memory is really bad. So I don't know. Either way,
This guy's been cooking with his memory all podcast, and he's just like,
yeah,
my
I
memory's
don't
so
remember when
bad.
I moved down here, bro.
So
Life's
humble.
like I don't know. I've just been
Yeah,
straight-
COVID
I've
time,
just been playing Smite
eviscerated
for 2
time.
Yeah,
years
3
in
years
SPL.
ago.
So
Yeah, 3 years.
no, this
Were
is,
you here
this is
before
This is
COVID?
going on to my 3rd year.
Yeah.
Were you here before the COVID
No.
lockdown? No, so 2020-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going on to my 3rd year of SPL.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
You're such a young gun in the SPL.
not anymore.
Personally, I'm a veteran. At
Now I'm a
22.
veteran.
2 years ago.
Wait a second,
22.
you just said he was 22.
Hold on.
Aren't you 22?
No, I've been in the league for 7 years.
I'm
Yeah,
about,
I'm just
I'm about to
thinking
be
about
22. Yeah,
That's
in a
criminal.
few days.
Oh, okay.
4
Birthday
days.
celebration in the studio?
4 days.
Could do.
Your birthday in 4 days?
4 days?
Yeah, April 11th.
You didn't
That's
say anything about that,
Tuesday?
To the club.
bruh.
I didn't even notice it was coming up. That's the thing. I just don't look at the dates. I don't pay attention.
But you've been the dates guy.
This guy's the ultimate
That's what I'm
gamer.
saying.
That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't
That's
be
what I'm
that
saying.
way.
It's
Okay.
surprising.
Fair enough. Fair
It's
enough.
just surprising.
So you never got to how did you so eloquently state it then? You never got to milk the SPL
I never got to
thing.
milk it. Yeah, I just came down here and then yeah. I mean, it's definitely interesting, right? Because in Michigan, I lived in like a small rural town, and you just know like a few friends, and then you just do like usual rural stuff, right? You just go out and
Like what?
you go hunt. I don't know. You go fish. You go sit at the lake.
Yeah, I'm from Tennessee, Kentucky, so I got you, man.
Yeah, you just kind of do nothing
from
out there,
Kentucky?
and then
I'm from Tennessee.
Tennessee, Kentucky.
Tennessee and Kentucky, yeah. I lived in both. They're 2 states.
No, I understand that, but generally when you say
Where-
you're
where
from
are you,
somewhere,
where are
you
you
say,
from?
He's from
There?
Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, it's just
I'm
where I
from
grew up.
Kansas.
Oh, yeah,
Kansas?
it's
Oh, so you
Kentucky.
get it
I thought
too.
it was Kentucky.
Yeah, we make
too.
wheat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where,
either
where are you
way,
from, Ben?
Rhode Island?
Well, okay, so you're like, that's
That-
rural.
That's already a
place is-
fake state.
Ish.
Not really, right?
It's like
Not a
tiny.
fake state. It's almost, though.
It should just be Delaware, if we're being honest. I'm so you got it straight. I'm sorry, bro. That's on me.
Can't be disrespected.
Wouldn't make sense though. 49 states wouldn't make any sense.
What?
Guys, it's like
we were in the United States before there were 50.
It's the first 13. It's like the fourth one that was discovered, I think.
Discovered. They landed there. They're like, "What? This is Rhode Island."
It's like when you load into a new video game thing and it says Rhode Island.
Whoa!
Like, wow.
Achievement unlocked on the bottom.
That's crazy.
Plus 100 gold. Yeah.
Isn't Rhode Island like a couple miles long?
You can literally drive across it in like 2 hours or something. Yeah.
You might be able to jog
2 hours.
Honestly,
like an hour probably. Yeah.
2 hours is a pretty long time.
It's like an hour to get to Atlanta from here.
I can drive across the state.
Yeah,
okay,
I can go across.
down, right?
I can go across from West Michigan to Detroit in like 2 hours.
Is that true?
What do you mean? I've done it a bunch of times. Is that true?
Me, bro?
I feel like he's
Bro,
lying.
this guy, he loves. By the way, when someone says something and it's just completely true, and the guy knows what he's talking about, he goes and he's like, "Yo, is that real?" And he just calls it someone else.
No matter who it is or what's going on.
He fact checks it like with someone else.
I gotta check it because like
you got to Google on the blog.
Every good lie has some truth in it. Think
On
about
God.
that. Think about that. So I got to make sure.
Oh, that explains a lot then.
What?
That you just in scrims, yeah?
You be lying in scrims?
He does love lying.
I'm a role player though. D&D baby.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Oh, you're a D&D player. You guys all play D&D or what?
No.
Just
Want
you?
to watch the movie
Just me.
though? That movie looks pretty good.
Is your campaign? Any notable names that the fans would know?
No. I play.
Roger.
I played with Marauder like a long time ago, but he's kind of he's doing his own thing. But no, not really. I mean, I just have a friend who's Moon.
Have I heard of Moon?
Yeah,
I've heard of Moon.
One of my friends he has a Discord, right? He has like his community Discord. And one of my friends is a DM in there. Dungeon Master.
Really?
So I play in there, yeah.
That's awesome. All right, break it down. What's going on in the campaign? What's the
something of a
character's
Dungeon
name?
Master?
What class? What level are we? What's going on?
I gotta get into this.
Yeah. Let me know.
Bruh.
We got a couple minutes.
Okay.
Here.
Okay. I'm playing a dragonborn named Kezan.
Okay.
He's a strength-based warlock.
I don't know how that makes any sense.
He wields a great sword. And
Doesn't sound like a warlock to me.
He beats people up.
Should have been a fighter.
But he's on his Thorfinn arc right now, where he was really like
that's
bad.
Vinland Saga for you weebs out there.
Yeah. And now he's becoming a better person, you could say. And we're the Titan, the original Kraken Titan, is coming back to life, and we're trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
Oh snap!
And we're like level 13.
Oh, you guys are like almost god level.
We're playing a level 20 campaign. So
okay.
Yep.
That's dope for you D&D fans out there. That meant something. For Ven and Haddix, that's just some nerd stuff we're getting up to. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, but they do math, so like, aren't they the nerds? Really?
This guy doesn't.
I don't.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Doesn't do any math. Okay. All right, boys. I think that's all the time we've got for today. But I'm gonna steal one bit from Dave that he's been doing all week so far, and it's give me one word for the Ravens. Let's start with you, Scream.
W.
Okay. That could be victory. That could be running it down. We're gonna leave it up to interpretation. Then
Caulk up.
that's more than one word, but I'll take it.
Combine it. Hashtag caulk up.
Yeah, get a hyphen in there.
Yeah.
That's a hyphenated conjunction. Haddix.
Patience.
There you have it.
That's what we need to learn.
We got W, cock
Somebody
up,
needs to learn right next to me too.
and patience.
Rock
This
out
has been
with
the
our-
Ravens, guys.
Rock out.
Thank you for tuning in. Stay locked in. We got more coming up.
Rock out, caulk out. Woo!